She rolled her dark brown eyes and shook her head so forcefully it made the beads in her Nubian braids jingle. "Don't even go there, old man Crow." He ignored her play on his last name of Crow and the fact that he was half Abzaliga. Angelica was one of the few who knew that little tidbit about him, along with the major secret he kept as sacred as a Vestal Virgin matron in charge of her convent's vault of keys to their chastity belts. Just as he was the only one who knew that she and her daughter, Kaisha, had made their way from the refugee camps out of Louisiana to the hills of Tennessee, where they were currently in hiding from the drab creatures who would slaughter them should they ever find them. And she was lucky. He killed most people who knew anything personal about him, a necessity he'd learned a long time ago. Keep your secrets close and you'll live longer. Keep your enemies dead and you'll live longer still. But that was neither here nor there. They were self-proclaimed scraps, the last of humanity, the mutated remains of a once great race. To the Matans who'd conquered them, they were lesser-formed creatures, but Josiah knew better. The scraps were the next evolutionary step. Mankind 2.0. Or rather, with this last act against them, they had just evolved into Mankind 3.0, a new breed who would no longer submit to or tolerate drab rule. It was time to send the drab Matans packing, and it was their job to hold the line and make sure the human race didn't become extinct. I didn't start this war, Ange. The Drabs had, 100 years ago when they'd brought their disease to the earth and left the human race to die out in utter misery. When they'd left him a mutant with skills that defied everyone's expectations, even his own. Yeah, you should have made sure I stayed dead. Their mistake. Shakespeare had once written that hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. The great bard was wrong. Hell hath no fury like a human forced to watch everything he or she loved be ripped away while the one who did it stood back and gloated in selfish, smug satisfaction, while they taunted their victim among their friends and took everything that had once belonged to him or her and claimed it as their own creation, as they tried to make it their own. Male, female, maiden, never mind. For one so slighted, either gender was just as vicious as the other when it came to seeking vindication. If the history of humanity had any lesson to be learned whatsoever, it should have been that no one fought harder than the home team. Whether it was the Athenians at Marathon, the Battle of Stirling Bridge, the Spartan 300, Alfred the Great, the colonial Americans, or even the Native Americans who'd kicked Eric the Red's ass out of Vinland, humans were capable of unimaginable feats when facing advanced technology and tactics while protecting their own. No one got the better of them. One voice could change the course of history forever, no matter how small the who in Whoville. It was never about the size of the dog in the fight. It was all about the size of the bite in the dog. Too bad the Drabs had burned all human literature and history books instead of reading some. Now they were about to get schooled at the University of Serious Bell Ringing by Dr. Crow and his elite faculty of kick your ass and make it count. Because Josiah had no intention of stopping until he hand-delivered the bill that was long past due, and shoved it down their gray, drab throats and made them choke on it. This was personal. They had made it so. His gaze fell to the latest report that had finally prompted his declaration of war, and his throat tightened around the bile that rose up in angry indignation. He was through watching his people die. Did you hear? They burned the Phoenix colony last night. Angelica winced. I saw the footage. Did anyone escape? He forced himself to mask the kick in the gut he felt over her question. If they did, they haven't surfaced yet. No doubt they're in hiding, afraid of being caught and exterminated. Yeah, I'd dig in deep too, and pray hard for the hand of death to pass me by.